We master ourselves, but the first thing we always do is make sure that you remove everything under the 20 Hz, because you can't hear it on a louder system. You can hear it in a small club, and it creates a little bit more room, so your track is gonna be louder in the end. But you have to make sure that you put it on linear phase, because otherwise you're gonna add frequencies you don't want to have. So put it on 20 Hz. Low cuts. Put it on 1. And you can hear this. See, if you put it on solo, you don't hear the heads, but if you remove this, you can add another decibel of loudness, and you really want that. Another cool trick, there's always a certain frequency range which don't do anything in the track, it's just noise. And if you remove that as well, you're gonna create more space in the end. So I'm gonna add another FOB filter as well, so I can show it to you. It's always around 300 or 400 Hz.
I can even hear this stuff, really. I don't hear that.
No. And that's the cool stuff about it, because if you remove this, you can go harder in the end. And nobody knows this. Of course the producers knows this, but you have
such a tiny difference.
Yeah, but in the end it's not a tiny difference, because when you track, if you can add another decibel on your master, your track is really gonna be louder, and that's what you want in the end, because you want to compete with the other tracks when you play your set. Because the last thing you want.
But why this frequency, and why not like 800 hertz?
Because this frequency.
Why is that so important?
Because this frequency range here, that's I don't know how to explain it good in English. That's a range where you between the sub and between the mid of the instrument. So there's nothing actually there. If you're gonna reduce here, you're gonna hear it in the leads, and then if you're gonna do it here around 300 or 400 Hz, you don't gonna hear the difference if you bypass it or not.
So you should like find the spot where you find the muddiness, which you
exactly
can really hear, and then reduce it a bit.
And if you reduce it like 2 dBs, it will you will win in the end. We actually do that with all our tracks. Then, don't know if we have it here.
Just to the pull tag thing, that's cool. Because then you can really like hear the difference in a good way.
But this is just a little trick. Whoa, there's so many plugins on this computer. Whoa. Oh, here. Is it this one? Or I think. Yeah. Normally we put it on 12. That's the high.
This will add like the crispiness of the track.
Yeah.
Like mostly high end. It sounds more fresh instead of muddiness. But don't do it while producing. You have to have a good mix already, and when you put it on your master, it sounds more fresh. But he will show you.
difference now.
Yeah. Exactly. Everything like pops out more.
Yeah.
Like most of the time we also do this like in a later process, you know, because your ears are kind of like fucked up because we're making music now for like 6 hours or so.
Yeah, exactly.
Tomorrow when you wake up and you're coming into the studio and hear it again, it's like, whoa, this is way too much high end. So you have to reduce it a bit. So we give you all the plugins and the compression and all the tools, and the thing is what you have to do yourself is adjust it in a way you like it.
True. And
So,
then
so not used, just it can sound different in your own mix
true.
or your own track, whatever.
And then in the end, we're putting an isotope on it.
That's the very last.
That's the
thing,
very last
yeah.
step, exactly. And the cool thing about the isotope one, you can put a multi-band compressor on it, and you can actually learn the compressor, the multi-band, where to put where to put the bands.
function.
Yeah. So here's the function, learn. Make sure to put up auto, so it stays in volume. We don't do anything in the low end because the kick is the most important thing in hardstyle. And we compress everything just a little bit, so to glue everything more together, so you can get it louder in the end. Maximizer. In the beginning we use inflator as well. You can use a plugin.
It's from Oxford.
Yeah, for Oxford inflator. It does the job as well. But we found out lately if you use the isotope, you can go a little bit harder. It's just the little things in the end what makes your track more outstanding. We also use the transient because that makes more space. And mostly we put the character around 1 or 85, and then put the threshold down.
I really. It's really. This is like your own like. I can even like. How do you call it? Like another specialization.
It's another job.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
professorship. Let's find. Do they have Brainworks? No, it's not the one. Let's find another one.
So I'm even learning from my own tutorial.
Level me loud. Let's put a loudness meter so you can see if you're going loud enough. Yeah, what is loud enough? The easiest way to check if you're loud enough, because we're using another plugin called Brainworks, and then we know the RMS. Most of the tracks are -2.5. We're mastering -2.5 as well, but in this case, just grab a track which you like the most from an artist which is already there, a pro or a track which you really like. Put it in your arrangement, and then you can compare if you go hard enough or if the loudness is the same. When the loudness is the same, you're good to go.
So that also means that when producing a track, you have to make sure that your master volume is not in red. But
Yeah.
so when you're mastering, it goes in red eventually. But that's okay then.
That's
just
okay
for the
then.
people to know.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
don't be
exactly.
afraid that it goes in the red,
Yeah.
because then it's good. but
Yeah.
only in the end.
And normally we, if we have the end product, we bounce this project without a mastering to a WAV file to make sure that everything is bounced right, that we have enough space, and that the computer don't have to calculate other things anymore. And then you can easily A/B between other tracks, because now you have a shitload of tracks, and if you gonna put in another track, it's going to the master bus as well, so you can compare it good enough. So if you take a new arrangement, new project, you can put your track, for example, on spore 1 and of track 1, sorry, and the track you really like, you can put it on track 2, and then you can put your master chain over here, so you keep the master chain clean, the end chain. Otherwise, you can A/B between each other.
Shall we listen to the track one more time from left to right, and then we'll wrap it up?
Yep.
For now. So, 5-hour track.
Don't make me cry. Oh, we're fading again, but I want to you.
I think
Nice
this is
job.
it.